Welcome back to Spotlight Thursday. We are here with the Church of the New Covenant, and we are with
Mark Scafidi, pastor of the church.
Mara Wilcox, associate pastor.
Sierra Irizarry, admin.
welcome and thank you for your time. So tell us a little bit about Church of the New Covenant and who you guys are.
Well, Church of New Covenant has been here in the community since the 1950s, as I understand it. Different locations had been at what is now the radio. Woga, yeah, and then had actually met for a time on the campus at Mansfield University, but had been established in the community to proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. That's really what we're here to do and what we're about. But that takes a lot of different expressions and different forms, right? So it's just we meet regularly, like churches do, on a Sunday and other times during the week. But take it from there, Mara.
Yeah. So I've been at the church for 14 years. And it's just been really neat to see, it's always ebbing and flowing what we're involved in, what we're doing, what things look like. But I'm just always grateful for the growth that I see and just the heart of the people of Church of the New Covenant. They're just always willing to jump in and help when there's a need in the community, when, someone in our, that they know of is sick or, just needs encouragement. That's what people at Church of the New Covenant are so good at doing.
Good.
We've really seen, just even in this past 2 years, people jumping in and, doing things completely outside of their comfort zones, but just to meet a need in a community, which we'll probably talk about when we talk about outreach.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and I just love thinking about how many years New Covenant as a church and as a school has been part of the community, and it just seems like everybody you talk to is some kind of connection to New
True.
Covenant. They knew somebody who went to school there, or they knew somebody who was part of the church, or they were part of some kind of outreach or mega sports camp, or one of our things that we've just been involved in. It just seems like we've grown roots here, and we're just happy to be part of Mansfield.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And you guys started to talk a little bit about outreach. What outreach do you guys do that you're proud of?
What we're really grateful for, I would use that word. Proud of it in the sense that we're just really grateful for that. A number of different things. I think we enjoy, as part of our outreach, is supporting community events. Like we really got behind and supported the Mansfield Destroyers. They're a fun group to have in town. Grateful that they're here, and we just saw that as our opportunity, really, to serve people who are guests in our community. We wanted them to feel welcome, to feel at home, and this past year we tried to do it the year before, but that was COVID and all that fun stuff, and we couldn't have a dinner. But we hosted a dinner for them, and we invited people to come in and just share about Mansfield baseball history. So that was just a lot of fun. That's just kind of like a practical thing. And probably the other thing that was pretty monumental of an undertaking was Farmers to Family. That was a program that we had run in conjunction with the government last year from February to May.
Yeah.
I think it was like eight times we had 8 tractor trailer loads of food, thousands of boxes, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of food that we did not purchase. We just were the conduit. We said you can park, and that was like what Mara was saying and Sierra was saying about a community effort. We were hosting it, but we had people from different community organizations donated a trailer. Arnott Building Supply donated a forklift and donated people to help us do that. So it was quite an endeavor. There was a couple things there.
Yeah. I think. So I'm a graduate of New Covenant Academy, and so one of the best outreaches I think we do is New Covenant Academy, which is hosted in our building and part of us, but a separate entity.
Sure.
But I have just seen over and over the fruit of New Covenant Academy's education in my life, just having a foundation of beliefs that you can draw on in tough times, a foundation of, it just academically, I felt like it really set me up well for, to go into college, and it was a great place to grow up and to form community. My other favorite outreach we do, favorite is the wrong word.
Grueling.
Impactful,
Grueling.
impactful outreach that we do is make sports camp.
Yeah, that's huge.
So that has been that was actually founded by Mike and Mindy Yoder, who are longtime Mansfield residents, and they started it I think 14 years ago this year, and that's just been a hugely impactful and ongoing outreach to our community, and one that parents look forward to every year. Every year I have parents who bring their kids and they say, can you do this 3 weeks a year? And I say, absolutely not, because I can't do it. But anyway, it's good. It's a great place for kids to come, and they learn about sports, but more importantly, they learn about teamwork. They learn about the gospel. They learn about just how to function together, how to encourage each other. We have a good time, and it's a
huge undertaking.
huge undertaking, but it's worth it.
One week of
fun.
Yeah, it seems like we always have something going on. It seems like there's always something coming around the corner, and really it's our desire to see needs in the community, see needs in our church, see needs in the world, and try to find creative solutions where we can meet those needs. And we're never going to meet all of the needs because we are a limited resource, but if we can not only meet the needs that we can reach, but if we can equip people to send them out into the world to help them be inspired that they are able. And I think that is one of the great things about Church of the New Covenant is it's not one group of people who do everything and everyone just kind of sits and watches, but everybody who comes to Church of the New Covenant is encouraged to have a ministry, to know what they are good at, what their giftings are, and to go out into the world and use those. And I think that if we could actually see how far-reaching those tendrils have gone over the past 70 years almost, I think that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the things that we've done and we just enjoy doing is we coined it Loving Mansfield, and we just have taken initiatives to help beautify the community by cleaning up streets, pulling weeds, that sort of thing. Coming alongside the teachers in the public school. I know a number of churches do that in the area. I know the Covington Baptist does that and has done that. And just to support them and say thank you, even especially during the difficult times in which they're teaching. But we just find a great joy in just connecting to different community aspects and serving in the ways that we can, just to say thanks a lot of the time.
That is awesome. Very involved and community-based. So you three have obviously been there for different amount of times. For how long you've been there, how have you seen change? Or how has it changed?
In that regard. People are people anywhere. I mean, obviously different culture in some respects, but just people really stepping up to serve over the years. That's been a long time history, so that hasn't changed so much. But in the years that I get with a lot of young families, a lot of young children in the church, which we're grateful for, and I'd say that's kind of been a change that I've seen in my time. Just an influx of people, young families and young children.
So I've, like I said, I've been there for 14 years. And I think as much as things change, things also stay the same. Yeah. And that's good in a way. I just have felt like over the course of, while I've worked at the church for 14 years, I've been part of New Covenant Academy and or the culture and the community of Church of the New Covenant since 1989. So I won't tell you how old I was when I started, but
near birth.
Near birth. Yeah. Near birth. Anyway, and what I'm so grateful for is it just has always felt like home to me. And you know, while that always looks different, you know, just like with your family, you know, the dynamics change. People get married, people move away, people are born, you know, and you have something change, but it's the heart of the community of believers that just has stayed the same, which is actually pretty remarkable in a world that changes so quickly.
Yeah.
So I definitely have seen change, but I've also seen a lot of consistency and staying the same.
Yeah. And I started working at the church about 3 years ago, and just in time to see the whole world change, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think any church or business hasn't seen major changes just in the last couple of years. And, you know, we had to take a good hard look during the shutdown at what it meant to be a church,
Right.
and
Sure.
what our goals were, and how to continue those things in the midst of a pandemic. And so, you know, we made our online services, and we really ramped that up.
Sure.
And then when we came back, we sort of changed just the setup of our sanctuary. We started doing rows of chairs and then round tables all around, which seems like not a big deal, just the way you set things up. But I heard somebody say once that life change happens in circles and not rows.
Yeah.
And I think that that is really true. When you are looking at and facing people, and you're in a community and communication with people, it really makes a big difference.
Right.
But like Mara and Mark both said, that as much as things change, they stay the same. And I think that community and connection and being a church family has always been at the heart of Church of the New Covenant, and that hasn't changed. But I think that it has, our need for that, our recognition for the need of that has only increased since the pandemic started. We just realize how much we need each other, and I'm really thankful to be part of that church family and to be part of all the things that are going on there.
Yeah, I would say when we came back out of the shutdown, you know, the sense of wanting to be together and needing to be together was keenly felt by so many people. And even we had done the mega sports camp right after that, and you know, we had maybe not nearly one of the highest numbers of families participating throughout the community ever. So so a lot of things we do, but it takes on a different shape or a different dynamic and things like that. But it's been awesome. So it's been good stuff.
That is awesome. And our last question is, what is one thing that people may not know about Church of the New Covenant that you want people to know?
That we're actually there. 310 Extension Street, Mansfield, 16933. But besides that, I can give you the phone number too. No, seriously. Probably to be the new guy ish. You know, I don't think 7 years qualifies. Maybe in a community like this, a new guy is still 7 years ish. But no, seriously, that really is something. You know, people kind of and not for terrible reasons, but the idea that Church of the New Covenant has been there for a long time and established the ministry of New Covenant Academy, which is a great outreach. Like Mary said, that's pretty cool because it spans not only Tioga County but Bradford County. It goes into New York and the surrounding areas. Quite an outreach. You know, great support to the community that way. What was the question?
What they don't know.
What they don't know. Well, okay, so let's fit that in some way or another. You're the editor. You figure it out. I don't know. You know, we try to get connected to the community in different ways. I think people know people who are part of Church of New Covenant, so they know us, and not so much the building, you know, or necessarily what we do there, but they know the people, and the people who are part of Church of New Covenant are connected to their community and involved in lots of them. We got people who serve in the Borough Council, people who serve at the university, people who serve in different ways, lots of things.
Yeah. I think I would say what people don't know about Church of the New Covenant is how much Church of the New Covenant prays for our community.
Good word.
I feel like we have just, you know, really even, you know, in the past whatever that I've been there, we've really increased our focus to pray for and be involved in the community. You know, it's one thing to be involved; it's another thing really to pray for and establish our community that way. And I love how Church of the New Covenant is active in praying for our community, praying for our leaders, praying for our state,
Businesses,
yeah,
right?
our
I mean,
businesses. We for a
everything,
long
everything.
time prayed for businesses in our area, and I think every time I drive through Mansfield, I think I'm seeing our prayers come to life.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for all that I see. Actually, like there are so many building projects in our community right now. So many people, like improving,
Initiating,
improving their homes, but also the Gatehouse initiative to
Sure.
save the Gatehouse, and just different businesses. The Mansfield Foundation coming in on the corner there, and I'm just really grateful for all the change that I'm seeing coming as a result of that. But I firmly believe that it's fruit and a harvest of prayers that we've prayed.
Yeah, I mean, just jump in. I mean, the prayers that we pray, a number of different things, but in some very practical ways, for blessing on the community, that businesses would thrive, the university would thrive, that the community itself would thrive. So those are important things, so.
Yeah, and I think overall people have all kinds of ideas about church and churches and people who go to church, and I think that people are surprised when they walk in and they feel authenticity.
True.
We live in a world that is both way overly connected and completely disconnected.
True.
And I think that people are surprised when they walk into a building of church people and feel welcomed and loved and seen and cared for in both practical ways and spiritual ways and emotional ways. And just the fact that we are there and we are always looking to welcome new people into our family, and that we really truly deeply care, and not in a superficial way, but on the deepest level we care.
Yeah. I mean, and that the expression of that would be like our benevolence fund. It's not just to help people within; it does help people who are part of Church and Covenant, but oftentimes needs from the community are presented, and we don't wait to be responding to, but we initiate things that we can help people and come alongside of them, like the township or the municipality with people with overdue bills and things like that. So it's pretty cool.
Thank you guys for your time. It sounds like the Church of the New Covenant is very loving and welcoming. Remember that they are there, and we'll post more information below.